John Crone. Before I introduce Anne Ruwet, who will be moderating the question and answer period today, this comment is more for our legislators that have joined us. We obviously have a wide geographic distribution of legislators because, as most of you know, a number of our organizations provide services throughout the region of central to northwestern Connecticut. We also know that thanks to the hard work of the Alliance and its partners, that a great deal of conversations have already occurred with legislators about supporting nonprofit providers. And the response from legislators being supportive of that has been extraordinary and very positive. But we also know that it's a heavy lift to move something up when it's not in the governor's budget. And so what I want to say to our legislators is you certainly have my organization's commitment and mine, and I'm sure the Alliance as well, to do everything we can to help you with that lift and to continue this discussion. We know that it won't be easy, but we have confidence in your goodwill, and I have confidence in our ability as organizations to also make our voices heard. So that partnership, I hope, will continue. So my pleasure to turn it over to Anne Ruwet from CCARC. Anne?
Thank you, Ray. And thank you for all of you on Zoom. And it's, as Mary Etter said from our Bristol ARC, one of our partnering agencies, you know, it's sort of nice to be live too. So there are some of us here live at CMHA, which is an incredibly beautiful location. And congratulations to the CMHA for really all the work that they've done here. The history of this collaborative breakfast is just that. It's collaborative. It's partnering with our state legislators. We've hosted it at CCARC for about a decade. We are happy to hand over the responsibility to CMHA. And in the future, let's hope that we can all be live. But this is an important year for all of us to work together to really address the important issues facing the nonprofits within our communities. We have to have your support as legislators, even more so this year. So we're here today really to garner your support, hopefully address some of the questions that are important to the nonprofits. So I think with that, we will begin. We have a few questions to our legislators. I'm going to look at you, Kathy, because your face is like right in front of me instead of like a dozen faces on the screen. Not that I'm going to put you on the, well, yes, I will.
You're doing it alphabetically.
I'm doing it alphabetically. You start with an A. There you go. And J, Representative Pace, you're like next because you're the C. But this is, you know, this is probably in terms of funding nonprofits, it's probably most important. You're creating a biennial budget in this next few months. We know the governor's budget has been put out. We are very grateful to co-chairs of appropriations supporting openly in their public announcement the request for the $465 million over the next 5 years to really now re-energize the nonprofits within their communities. We need this more than ever. So I guess the question to our legislators is, will you support this initiative of the funding increasing? And we're all, whether it be DMIS, DCF, or DDS, it is critical. And whether you're a rate structure or contract based, it is so important that these dollars now be infused into the communities. So with that, I'd like to open that up for a question to our legislators, hopefully responding in a positive manner. Kathy, Representative Abercrombie. You're frozen. All right.
Oh, there she goes.
I'm sorry, I froze for a minute.
Yes, you did. So I'm going to put you on hold until you unfreeze. Is there another legislator, Representative Case, Representative Cook? know there's,
Hi, Ann. Good morning.
good morning.
It's nice to see everybody today. You know, we always look forward to seeing and working with the nonprofits and, you know, seeing that the governor's budget's out there. You know, of course, you know, we all want to support the nonprofits. Working on some bills in human services to try to help out the nonprofits with the pilot program that was started a few years ago and try to move that forward as to the extra dollars that the nonprofits have to be able to use them instead of returning. You know, there's a lot of things going on within this legislative session, and it's, you know, we don't even have the legislative budget as of yet. And, you know, the governor's budget is out there, and, you know, today we're going in and doing some bills that have some pretty significant costs, but we don't have a budget line item for them yet. So I will do everything I can to work to make the nonprofits, because I always say it's, you know, it's people before projects, and our most vulnerable are the ones that we need to take care of. And given the pandemic and everything that's going on, there's been some real tough times, especially so. Stay tuned and please reach out with any questions. And hopefully Representative Abercrombie's on.
Hey, I understand Representative Abercrombie now has her arm raised, her hand raised. Oh. Hear you, Kathy, Representative Pettit.
So we're going to try this again. I don't know why I'm having connection problems, but we'll try this again. Good morning, everyone. It's great to see so many of my. Go ahead, Representative Pettit.
Thank you, Ann and Raymond, for doing this again. Just simply, I would support the increased funding to the nonprofits. I think they're a huge part of the backbone of social services that we provide in this state, and I think they have not been funded appropriately over the past decade or longer, and I think it's time for us to step up to the plate. It'll likely mean we need to make decisions in other areas as well, but I would certainly fully support that policy going forward.
We have another representative, Representative Cook.
Hi, everybody. Great to see you all. And it was great to see you in our hearing the other day. You know, Kathy does such a great job asking the questions and doing what she does. I just want to thank you all for what you do and have immense respect and support. I was actually late getting to you because I was on my board, my Y board meeting, talking about their struggles and, you know, what they need to do looking forward as well. So you all have my full commitment in trying to figure out a way to continue the funding and try to figure out a way to increase your funding, because what you do really keeps our communities working in a manner that we would not be able to do without you. So thank you all. It's great to see you, and be safe and healthy.
Thank you. Remember, this is recorded. We're so excited to have this commitment.
Absolutely. Stand by it.
Appreciate it, Representative Cook. Is there another hand raised from our representatives? Okay, Representative, us again.
Was that me or is
Oh, Kara.
okay, all right. Sorry, I had a hard time hearing. And is my internet okay? Because I don't usually have good internet.
Yes.
Okay. I want to echo what my colleagues have said, and thank you for having this. Also, I remember a couple of years ago, probably in the last couple budgets, I know you guys had a lot of people reaching out to us, and I thought that was very effective. So because there's so many new legislators, I highly encourage doing that again. You know, hopefully maybe in a couple months, we'll be able to have people up at the Capitol, but that for me was very effective. And all my constituents who reached out to me sent me emails. I thought that was great. So keep up the great work, and the budget, as you know, has a long way to go from wherever it's at now. It's going to be very different. And if that means putting on amendments to add additional funding for you, then I look forward to doing that. Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have another representative? Should we go back to Representative Abercrombie?
Yeah.
How are you?
Hi, guys. So sorry about that. I don't know what happened at this point, but good morning, everyone. It's so great to see all my peeps on this call today. Let me just start by saying thank you to all of you for what you do in general, but more importantly, what you've done through this pandemic. I've talked to most of you since last year, and I just really, from the bottom of my heart and the people that you support, want to say thank you, because we have come a long way. It's been really difficult, but we couldn't have done it without you guys. So, thank you so much for that. I will say, from an appropriations point of view, I really think that this is the year that we have an opportunity to really help our nonprofit providers. I think that between the CARES Act and the huge lapses that we have in Medicaid, it's a great opportunity to do the right thing. I think what's going to be interesting is how we get there. I'm not so sure it's going to be done through rates, but maybe through grants. I think that we have to be aware of what happens after 22-23 budget. And I think that's what always makes people uncomfortable. But I really do think that this is going to be the year that you're going to see some significant changes in how we support our nonprofit providers. And then let me just say this. I thank you guys so much for reaching out. I say this time and time again, there's only about 55 of us on appropriations, yet there's 187 of us that have to vote on the budget. So for you to reach out to your legislators and let them know how important this is, you help us in the long run, because you're absolutely right. It's a heavy lift, and it's not just a heavy lift with our colleagues. It's also a heavy lift with the administration. You guys, for those of you that heard our briefing that we had with the Secretary McCaw, you heard my comments that I was really disappointed with the budget that the governor came out when he came to Human Services. I think that he had an opportunity to really help those that have been helping us, especially through this pandemic, and he didn't take advantage of it. I think that he has kind of set the groundwork that we've got a lot of work in front of us to do, but you've got a great team on finance and also on appropriations that are in your corner, and we will do the best we can. But thank you guys very much for all you do.
No, thank you. I think this is the first time in decades that I've heard really confirmation from all of our legislators that this is the year. And as providers, we always want to say, if not now, when? It is so critical to really sustain a community of support for people, the citizens of Connecticut, to receive the essential services that they require. I'm going to move